Hegel's beautiful daughter Sophia. Some 700 years before Christ, a girl came down from Olympus. She didn't know how to talk, and it was obvious that she was still walking unsteadily. The people there knew that she was immortal, because only God or a child of God could come from Olympus, and they were not surprised that a child grows slowly, because if someone is immortal, he certainly does not grow up in 3 weeks like a mouse or in 1 year like a cow. The child was named Sophia. The people she grew up with died one by one, and Sophia never became a girl. Because her was not pleasant and good enough by everyone to develop. That's cause why she went from family to family. She arrived in Rome with a Greek Jewish sage from Alexandria. This was already at the time of Jesus Christ's sojourn on earth. Life and her pickiness took her to Spain, with an Arab named Averroes, better known as Ibn Rushd. Sophia was pleased with him. This Ibn Rushd was known for claiming that the soul does not outlive the body, i.e. that without a living brain there is no self-awareness of the human individual. He also argued that not all people are intelligent enough to understand the state of things. In 1195, Ibn Rushd fell into disfavor with Caliph Yaqub al-Mansur and was expelled to a small town south of Córdoba, only to receive the Caliph's favor 2 or 3 years later. Ibn Rushd was then invited to the Caliph's court in Marrakesh, where he died in 1198 at the age of 72. When Ibn Rushd departed to Marrakesh, Sophia remained for a year, 2 in Córdoba, and then for 4.5 centuries she was bored in the monasteries of Western Europe and England. She entered puberty not earlier than in the 17th century in Amsterdam, that was already in existence with Baruch Spinoza, a shrewd Jew with a difficult and short life. From there, Sophia went to the court of Prince Elector Karl Ludwig of the Pfalz. Here and there, she felt comfortable with the German sages, and at the beginning of the 19th she fell into the care of any German named Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. With him, Sophia gained full maturity in a very short time. She herself has since stated, "My dad is Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel." When her father died in 1831, Sophia was already a wonderful young woman. At her father's grave she said, "My dad said nicely that concrete is nothing without the absolute, and vice versa, which has its roots in teaching my good Baruch S., who said that God is in everything, so reality is one thing, not two things, not absolute and concrete." Unfortunately, my dad had no time to make me happy by explaining when the concrete is absolute and when the absolute is concrete. However, I have matured with him as a person, and that depend upon people. I am graduated to they, as the absolute, in the part of they, when they are concrete humanity. As she became mature and independent, she did not have to go to other guardians, but stayed at her father George's house. She enjoyed the attention of her dad's students and admirers for another 9 years, but then they slowly began to move away from the memory of her dad and her. Sophia was lonely and longed to get a husband. Some Arthur Schopenhauer, otherwise a misogynist, scolded and devalued her, and some Karl Marx told a completely different story about her, compared to the one she acquired by her father. Since then, many have claimed that Sophia is their daughter. So the years went by, there were bigger and bigger wars, so people didn't care much for Hegel's daughter Sophia. Today, however, there are many philosophers, i.e. those who love Sophia and who claim that she lives with they, although this is not true. Ordinary people do not know whom to trust. Yet many ordinary people dream of being with her, at least in society, if not with her only. Some philosophers began to use it and offered Sophia as a whore. After masturbating over the books about Sophia, because she still doesn't live with they pimp Sophia from city to city and tell people how beautiful Sophia is. Where philosophers offer Sophia, many stories are going about her, just to keep the people interested in her, that is, for pimps to pick up money. At the end of such marketing meetings, no one asks, "Where is Sophia?" That is, no one requires, "Show Sophia." Women are silent here because they don't want their men to see Hegel's beautiful daughter very much, and men are silent because they are either homosexual, or impotent, or immature, or that they are peeing themselves in fear of staying alone with the immortal one, and then justify themselves with, who knows with whom she has communicated so far. This year, Hegel's beautiful daughter married one simple Balkan man, because she realized that today's philosophers are useless,